One wish sparked a forbidden 32 choices.
The rain hammered the roof like 1,000 accusations that night, drowning out Lily's soft sobs as she clutched her stuffed bear, whispering her desperate wish to the storm outside our kitchen window. I held her close, my heart fracturing all over again at the raw ache in her voice. 8 years since her other dad walked out, leaving us to piece together a life from the shards of what was supposed to be forever. But when she lifted her tear-streaked face and declared with the fierce certainty only a child can muster, "Daddy, I know exactly who should be my stepdad," I laughed it off as bedtime magic until the next morning, when she dragged me to the park and pointed straight at him, the stranger with eyes like forgotten promises, and my world tilted on its axis. I never planned on loving again. Not after Mark's betrayal carved that hollow space in my chest where trust used to live. Lily and I had carved out our rhythm in this sleepy corner of upstate New York, where the autumn leaves painted the streets in fiery reds and golds, and the high school hallways echoed with the chaos of teenage dreams I tried to nurture as their English teacher. Morning started with her giggling over pancakes shaped like hearts. Afternoons blurred into grading papers under the hum of our old radiator. And evenings were ours, storytime forts and whispered secrets under the covers. She was my anchor, my light, the reason I swallowed the loneliness like bitter coffee each dawn. But Lily, with her wild curls and unflinching honesty, saw the shadows I hid behind forced smiles. "You need someone, Daddy," she'd say, her small hand on my cheek, like in the books, where the hero gets his happy ending too. That Saturday, the air crisp with the promise of fall, she tugged me toward Willow Creek Park, her sneakers kicking up leaves like confetti for some unspoken celebration. "He's perfect," she announced, jabbing a finger toward the playground where a man was organizing an impromptu game of tag with a gaggle of kids, his laughter ringing clear and unburdened. Jordan Hale, that was his name. I learned later from the community bulletin board, moved with an easy grace, his dark skin glowing under the dappled sunlight filtering through the oaks, his broad shoulders straining against a simple gray hoodie and jeans that spoke of someone who worked with his hands. Maybe at the local rec center where flyers advertised art classes for underprivileged youth. He was in his mid-30s, like me, but where my face carried the weight of quiet regrets. His held a spark of mischief, crinkles at the corners of his deep brown eyes hinting at stories untold. Lily bolted toward him before I could protest, her voice piping up with the audacity of innocence. "Mister, will you be my stepdad?" The words hung in the air, a grenade lobbed into the ordinary. And I froze, heat flooding my cheeks as the other parents turned, their gazes a mix of amusement and polite discomfort. Jordan knelt to her level, his expression softening into something achingly tender, not a trace of mockery. "Well, now, that's the best offer I've had all week, kiddo. But I think your real dad over there might have a say in this." His eyes met mine, then, locking with intensity that stole the breath from my lungs, warm, searching, like he'd seen straight through to the boy I'd buried under layers of responsibility and fear. I stammered an apology, scooping Lily up as she beamed like she'd just won the lottery. But Jordan waved it off with a grin that crinkled his nose. "No harm done. She's got spirit. Reminds me of my little sister back in Philly." We chatted awkwardly at first, the conversation a tentative bridge over the chasm of our stranger status, him counseling at the rec center, channeling his graphic design degree into murals that transformed blank walls into bursts of color and hope, me confessing my love for dissecting Shakespeare with surly teens, finding poetry in their raw edges. Lily orchestrated it all, insisting he join us for ice cream at the corner stand, her sticky fingers linking ours as if sealing a pact. By the time the sun dipped low, painting the sky in bruised purples, I felt the first treacherous flutter in my chest, a warning I ignored because who falls for a playground hero in one afternoon? Days blurred into a tentative rhythm after that. Lily's stepdad campaign, turning our quiet life into a whirlwind of engineered encounters. She'd accidentally spill juice at the rec center pickup, forcing me to linger while Jordan mopped it up with that easy laugh, or dragged me to the farmer's market where his booth overflowed with handmade sketchbooks, his fingers stained with charcoal as he demonstrated quick portraits for passers-by. Each time, his presence chipped away at my defenses, his voice a low timbre that wrapped around forgotten dreams. "You ever think about what you'd draw if the world wasn't watching?" he'd ask, his gaze lingering a beat too long. And I'd mumble something about sonnets over sunsets, my pulse betraying the lie. But beneath the charm, shadows lurked. My ex, Mark, had slithered back into town a month earlier. His sudden reconciliation tore a thinly veiled bid for custody leverage, claiming my lifestyle made me unfit, as if his affairs hadn't shattered us first. He'd corner me at parent-teacher nights, his cologne sharp as his words. "Lily needs stability. Alex, not your experiments." The accusation stung, reopening wounds I'd thought scarred over. And I'd retreat to our apartment, the walls closing in with a weight of what-ifs. What if he won? What if loving Jordan meant losing her? I pushed it down, buried it under lesson plans and bedtime stories. But Lily sensed the storm brewing. "Daddy's sad again," she'd whisper to her bear, and I'd pull her close, vowing silently to shield her from the fractures. Jordan became my unwitting confessor one crisp October evening, after Lily's school play where she stole the show as a pint-sized Juliet, her balcony soliloquy delivered with the fire of 1,000 unsung loves. He was there, invited by her relentless postcards, clapping loudest from the back row, his pride evident in the way his eyes shone. Afterward, as we strolled the leaf-strewn sidewalks under street lamps flickering like hesitant stars, Lily skipped ahead, leaving us in a pocket of silence thick with unspoken tension. "She's incredible. You know," he said softly, his breath visible in the chill. "Takes after her dad." I glanced at him, the vulnerability in his profile mirroring my own. And before I could stop it, the dam cracked. Words tumbled out, Mark's threats, the custody papers lurking in my drawer, the terror of loving in a world that still whispered judgments. He stopped under a canopy of bare branches, turning to face me fully, his hand brushing my arm in a touch that ignited sparks along my skin. "Alex, you're the best damn father I've ever seen. Don't let his poison rewrite that." His voice was steady, but his eyes, God, those eyes, held a storm of their own, a flicker of pain that made my heart clench. Later, over coffee at the all-night diner, he shared fragments of his past, the foster homes in Philly that taught him resilience, the art scholarship he lost to a family crisis, the quiet coming out that cost him his first love. "I build things now," he said, tracing patterns on the tabletop, walls into windows. "Maybe that's what we do, turn the broken into something beautiful." Our knees touched under the booth. Accidental at first, then deliberate. And in that charged space, I felt the pull of possibility, dangerous and alive. As November's frost etched patterns on our windows, the flirtations deepened, stolen moments weaving into the fabric of our days. Lily, ever the matchmaker, staged family picnics in the living room, complete with blanket forts and Jordan's famous grilled cheese twists, extra tomato for her, no crust for me. He'd arrive with sketches tucked under his arm, quick studies of Lily mid-laugh or me lost in a book, capturing essences I hadn't seen in myself. One night, after tucking her in with a story of nights and hidden treasures, he lingered in the hallway, the air humming with the electricity of near confessions. I didn't sign up for stepdad duty expecting this, he murmured, his fingers grazing mine. But damn if it doesn't feel right. I leaned in, our foreheads touching, breaths mingling in the dim light. And, for the first time in years, I let myself want, fiercely, unapologetically. Yet the idyll shattered on a gray December afternoon. Mark's lawyers serving papers at the school gates, the cold wind whipping the documents like indictments. Unfit environment, they read, laced with insinuations about my associations, a veiled jab at the man whose truck now parked in my driveway some evenings. Panic clawed at me as I raced home, finding Lily curled on the couch, her drawing of our perfect family crumpled in her fist. Me, her, Jordan, stick figures holding hands under a rainbow sun. Jordan was there, summoned by her frantic call from the neighbor's phone, his arms enveloping us both as sobs racked my frame. We're fighting this, he vowed, his voice a steel thread in the unraveling night. And in his embrace, I glimpsed the strength we'd build together. The holidays loomed like a battlefield. Mark's family gatherings a minefield of passive-aggressive toasts and sidelong glances. He escalated, leaking whispers to the PDA, my lavish lifestyle distracting from teaching, as if lesson plans on empathy weren't the heart of what I did. Colleagues shifted in hallways. Parents hesitated at conferences, and the isolation crept in, a chill deeper than winter's bite. Jordan countered with quiet defiance, organizing a rec center holiday fair where Lily's artwork, vibrant collages of families in all shapes, hung proudly, drawing murmurs of admiration that drowned out the doubters. See them, he'd whisper to me amid the mulled cider and twinkling lights, his hand to the small of my back. That's us, unbreakable. But the real storm hit on Christmas Eve, snow blanketing the town in hush as Mark showed up uninvited, his face flushed with eggnog and entitlement. Pounding on our door with demands for his daughter, Lily hid behind the tree, ornaments trembling with her fear, while Jordan stepped forward, his frame a shield between us and the chaos. This isn't your home anymore, he said evenly. But Mark lunged, words flying like fists, pervert parade ruining my kid, until I shoved past, the protector in me roaring to life. Fists clenched, hearts pounding. It dissolved into shouts echoing down the street, neighbors peeking from curtains, until sirens wailed in the distance, Mark slinking away like the coward he was. In the aftermath, as we huddled by the fire, Lily's head in my lap and Jordan's arm around us, the weight of it all crashed down. I can't lose her, I choked out, tears carving paths through the exhaustion. Jordan cupped my face, his thumbs brushing away the salt, his gaze fierce with a love that had bloomed unspoken. You won't. And you won't lose me either, not if I have anything to say about it. His lips met mine then, soft and sure in the firelight's glow. A kiss that tasted of pine and promise, sealing what our hearts had known since that playground faded day. Lily stirred, peeking up with a sleepy smile. See? Stepdad approved. The new year dawned with resolve. Lawyers marshaled and allies rallied, parents from the fair, colleagues who'd seen my devotion firsthand, even the principal testifying to my integrity. Court dates loomed. Tense marathons of depositions where Mark's bluster crumbled under scrutiny. His affairs unearthed like buried sins. Jordan was my rock, attending every hearing in press shirts that hugged his frame, his sketches now legal pads filled with notes of encouragement. Lily thrived amid the turmoil, her wish manifesting in small miracles, a court-appointed counselor praising our bond, holiday card from rec center kids calling her art boss, yet doubt gnawed at me in quiet moments. The fear that love like ours, raw, unscripted, might still shatter under societal scrutiny. One spring evening, as cherry blossoms carpeted the park where it began, Jordan pulled me aside after Lily's soccer scrimmage, his expression grave. "I need to tell you something," he said, voice thick, leading me to a bench overlooking the creek's murmur. The words spilled then, his diagnosis from years back. HIV managed, but a shadow he'd carried alone, fearing it would scare off the fragile connections he craved. I didn't want to burden you, not with the fight already raging. My heart seized, not in revulsion, but reverence for his courage. And I pulled him close, our tears mingling on his collar. "Burden? Jordan, you're my miracle, the man who turned a child's whim into our forever." The revelation forged us stronger. Medical consults and open talks weaving vulnerability into intimacy. We navigated it with grace, his adherence a testament to survival, my support a vow unspoken. Lily, sensing the shift, drew us as superheroes, capes billowing, hands linked, her innocence a balm. As summer's heat rose, the custody hearing climaxed in a sunlit courtroom. Judge Harlan's gavel falling like benediction. Full custody to me. Supervised visits for Mark. His toxicity curtailed. Cheers erupted from our makeshift family in the gallery. Jordan's whoop loudest as he swept Lily into a bear hug, spinning her until dizziness claimed us all. In the golden haze of victory, our love unfurled fully, no more hiding behind playground pretenses. We built it brick by brick, weekend hikes where Lily collected wishing stones by the river, their smooth surfaces etched with dreams, quiet dinners where Jordan's stir-fries mingled spices from his Philly roots with my Midwestern comfort, stolen nights when she'd sleep over at a friend's. Our bodies rediscovering touch in the soft moonlight filtering through curtains. Whispers of, "I love you," etching permanence. Challenges lingered, Mark's begrudging compliance. Societal side eyes in grocery aisles, but they paled against the profundity of us. A tapestry of chosen family defying odds. One crisp fall day, a year to the playground pivot, Lily tugged us to that same oak-shaded spot, her now 10-year-old wisdom shining. My wish worked, didn't it? She beamed, linking our pinkies in a chain. Jordan knelt, eye level once more. Better than any star could grant. Kiddo, and as the leaves danced in the breeze, I realized the truth. Her wish hadn't just brought a stepdad. It had summoned the love that healed us all, proving that in the quiet revolutions of the heart, the most unexpected paths lead home. In a world
They
quick
say
to judge,
if you wish upon a
we
star,
carved our own
anything
legend.
is possible.
One tender,
Look,
defiant
a
beat at
shooting
time.
star.